Um, I think a lot of young people are very upset at what they view as Christianity in this country, especially again seeing the rulings that have been laid out in the past few weeks. There are young people who want nothing to do with Christianity or religion or all these different things. And so I think our actions have to speak differently. If we preach that we are inclusive and loving everyone, our actions and our ministries and everything need to reflect that. If we say we are, we care about the climate crisis, but, not doing much in our church, our congregation, our community around that, are we really reflecting those values? And so what I do really enjoy about Green Faith is it is more broad, right? It is multi-faith, international grassroots. It is people all over the world of many different faiths working together because of their faiths, not in spite of them, and appreciating each other's faiths and lifting that up, right? We're believing different things, but we're all here for the same reason, and we can really appreciate other people's beliefs and learn from them. And so when it comes to Green Faith and people versus fossil fuels, I think the name says it all, right? It is people against fossil fuels because fossil fuels are not for us. It is destroying our earth that we all live on, a very sacred place. And so we need to outright be against that, against this continued runaway use that is plummeting us into more suffering and despair that is clearly not the way forward. And so how do we value people over that? So that coalition is led by the Center for Biological Diversity, but also the Indigenous Environmental Network. And so that is a coalition that has many frontline and Indigenous voices there. And Green Faith is on the steering committee as well, helping out with the faith organizations who are involved. How does our faith and our belief and our morals inform our communal actions, inform our policy decisions and our votes and et cetera? I think oftentimes we have it very backwards, where we don't make much change and expect someone else to do it. And I think building collective power and action is the most important thing, especially as people of faith. And if people of faith were living out those faiths, those beliefs, and setting an example and pressuring others to do the same, I think a lot more would change. That's a conversation I have to have a lot of times too with my own congregation or others, is we say we care about these things. And so how do we show that? How do we show that not just individually, but also in our congregations? And so this makes me think of something at Green Faith. We have these things that are called these three pathways to power. And so our like circles focus on this, but one of them is like at an individual level. What are you doing? What are your beliefs? How do you live that out? Another one is at the congregational level. How are you doing that together as a congregation at a higher level? But again, going even beyond that. And at a systemic level, what are we doing? And so I think people of faith, if we were to organize and come together, we have power to change things on a systemic level and make a big difference.